Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, let's get started. Yo, welcome to the D Bond Show. I'm your host, Darnell Bonds, with my co host. Let her introduce herself like always.
What up, what up, what up? It's your girl, Lovely One from Opinions, etc. Thanks for having me.
You always welcome. Let's get started. Everybody know what happened on Sunday morning. Kobe Bryant and several other people was killed, including his daughter, uh, a baseball coach, and his wife and his daughter and her. To her teammates and the pilot all tragically died in a plane in a helicopter crash. Uh, I was going down my timeline and I seen somebody like, no, not Kobe. I thought it was uh, I thought it was one of their friends, and I went down my timeline some more. People were saying, this can't be real. Kobe Bryant's gone for real. Then I went to Google and like typed in Kobe name, and TMZ was the first one to report it, like always. And I went to ESPN, CNN, everybody reported, and the police said they couldn't confirm it was Kobe at the time. I don't know how TMZ confirmed it was Kobe before the police even got to the body, but that's another topic. So, Kobe changed the game. The NBA game, the sports game, everybody showing love. Of course, some people is not showing him love. It was a tragedy that happened. I couldn't imagine to, be on both sides of the field, uh, be with my son in a helicopter and hold him and we, crash. Or uh, you got to tell your kids that one of your family member ain't coming home no more, because they passed away. Kobe was a father. Uh, he had a helicopter because of what LA traffic is. They was going to the gym that he built for the girls, uh, the youth, and it was going to the way to a tournament that day, taking his daughter to the game. It's unfortunate that it happened, and I still can't believe it. It's unreal because we grew up watching Kobe Bryant. We didn't even watch basketball. You knew who Kobe was. We always had this discussion: who's better, Michael Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron James? Now that whole debate is gonna be totally different. We just gonna appreciate they talent, they gift that they gave us. They sacrificed their time with their family. He loved his daughters to death. Uh, Unfortunately, she went with him. It was, I couldn't imagine his wife what she going through. And what I heard yesterday from the outlets that she came and finished the sentence without break it down, but she said she got to be strong for the other girls and the family and to the families. That got to be hard. I couldn't imagine. We couldn't imagine a million years that COVID would take away from us this early. And the other victims, I'm not forgetting them. I just don't know their name by heart. And it's heartbreaking when you lose so many people at a young age. He's was 41. His daughter was 13, and it's just heartbreaking. My son is about to be 12, and we seen it, we watched it. I've been watching the NBA. I watched Shaq talk yesterday. I watched Jerry West talk yesterday. I watched Reggie Miller talk yesterday. Paul Pierce talk yesterday. Ella Iverson talk. All these ball players. Even Tom Brady talk. And I heard people that was not even part of the basketball world that talk about basketball. He touched the world. He did a lot of stuff for the NBA. He did stuff for Japan. He supported Kaepernick when he took the knee. He supported him. All his supported him. But I just want to get your side of it.
Um, I mean, I'm not a major sports fan, but who didn't know Kobe, right?
Yeah,
Um, One of the things that I noticed on social media that's going around right now is like people were saying, when you when you throwing that paper into the trash can, still go ahead and say Kobe.
yeah. I always
Um,
do that all the time.
so I mean, it's pretty apparent, that that even though there was always this mass debate, and there will always be a debate about who's the best and who's the greatest and things of that nature, but to see the outpouring of people from all walks of life, not even just in the NBA, but there have been, other famous people or other celebrities who passed, and it may get spoken about or you'll hear about it, of course, but then just it's everywhere. It's
Mm,
all over social media. It's on all the channels. It's everybody, almost everybody seems to have a story. Um, and that's something that I was not aware of. I was not aware of, how much he touched so many people, and how um and just the genuine type of spirit that he had. And so it's been it's really been, I mean, I was in shock, of course, because it wasn't anything anyone expected. And
yeah, I remember I sent you a message. I'm like, you see this? I didn't think it was real at the time when I sent you
yeah,
a
no, we
message.
we were told by one of the kids was like, Kobe died today, and we was like, no. We was like, that's got to be a hoax. So everybody, of course, pull out their phone and stuff, and the fact that there was multiple sources said it, and it was just like, no way, like that is it's true, it's real, it's like it's not a hoax because all these outlets are saying it. And it was just, and of course with the TMZ breaking the story, and I don't understand that either, how they knew before the police even confirmed it. I have no clue.
Yeah,
But
'cause
they
TMZ
could have
got
been
stories
they
wrong
could have been
before too.
monitoring when his helicopter left, and because they are a news outlet, so they are, or a celebrity outlet. And so who knows? They could have been like watching it the whole time, just like, oh, okay, he about to go to the, so they could be there for when he got to the arena. Um, so you never know. But um, yeah, it was a shocker, and I couldn't believe it. And then he was still so young, and then to find out that his daughter was with him was made it a little bit more heartbreaking. And then like I said, all the outpouring of the support and all of the different stories, um and the lives he's touched, and how far his reach expanded beyond the court, um is amazing to see. So he seemed to have been just an overall awesome human being. um Great loss. um and I definitely send condolences to his wife and his remaining children, and to all the other families that lost their lives and loved ones on that helicopter that day as well. Very heartbreaking. I know there was a father um whose wife died, and they left three young children. There was
Yeah.
a family that died, a father, mother, and their child passed as well, and the pilot. And so it's just anytime tragedy strikes, it's sad. It's saddening. You don't ever want to hear about anything like that, even though we know death is a part of life.
Yeah.
When it comes to this degree, or comes this sudden and this tragic, it's a jolt for everyone. Um, Again, I send my condolences out to the family members of the deceased, and we just one day at a time.
Yeah, it was death don't care. I know I made a post. I said death don't care about you rich or poor, how young you got, how many loved ones. Death will come for you. So, I remember I lost my granddaddy, and that hurts. And when you lose somebody close, then when you hear a name like Kobe Bryant, when we lost Michael Jackson, I think nobody didn't believe Michael Jackson was gone, and
Right,
his death, shocked us. Then last year we reported that Nipsey Hussle got killed, and we didn't believe it, and we was in shock. Now,
right,
you know, fast forward, and now it's Kobe,
right,
and it's only January, and David Stern, the person who overlooked the NBA over so many years, who said Kobe name in the draft when he was 17. Uh, he died early this year. Now Kobe passed, and it's a tragic accident. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there with cartoons. I think it was just a, I think it just was a bad accident. You know, it was fall, it was a bad weather. I don't see how the government assassinate him. You know what I mean? I don't see
Mhm.
the benefit from it. It would, I think it was like, you know, even though we got this virus going around, that was just two. There was one reported in Indiana. I can't even say the virus name, the
Coronavirus.
coronavirus. Yeah, that started in China when people was eating all kind of animals from Australia and all that, and then it spread. I seen it was going to spread when they said China.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is about to spread around the world because
Right.
it started in China. It didn't start in Africa. It started in China. So I like, oh, I know this is about to be a this because Trump trials, you know, MP trials on is on. I've been watching his trial, but it's been so boring because people are repeating the same thing. Now you got this virus going around, and now you got Kobe passing. So people are like, well, it's a distraction. I don't know. It's not really a distraction because people still know about this virus that going around.
Mhm.
You know, and when we look at all this stuff going around, World War III about to break, and when we look at all this stuff around, we we should come if we could come together when tragedy happened, like after 9/11 to Kobe death. If we could come together for 365 days, that would be great. You know, we only come together for 2 months or a week, come together, then we go back to our old ways.
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
another tragedy struck. Then we like, oh, we need prayer and say. Then we go back in 2 weeks or a mass shooting happened. Then
Right.
we go back to our old ways. But if we come together and stay together and stay love and keep that love, then it won't be no problem. And we how when somebody passed, we don't know how we're gonna act. You know, we don't know how we're gonna break down. We don't know how people hold up after death. When somebody, I seen people that lost their wife, their husband, their brother, their sister. They do not cry. Then on the other hand, some people do cry, and people like who don't cry. They at the funeral they 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 didn't love them or enough.
Right.
But when you go to the way and you hear about the death that day, you break down, you cry that whole day. 'Cause I know when my uncle passed away, I was in the hospital. I had surgery that day. I remember I had surgery. We got the news that my uncle passed away. And I just got a surgery, so the nurse and all them, they thought it was something wrong with me because I was bawling in tears. But when I got to the funeral, I didn't cry no more. You know, so we don't see what happened behind closed door. My heart go out to the family that infected, you know, with a helicopter crash because, you know, it was unfortunate that it happened. You know, people like he could have took a car, but he could have gotten a car accident that day too.
Mhm.
When it's our time to go, it's our time to go. It don't matter. We can't pick and choose how we want to go.
Right.
You know, the helicopter was big enough. I heard somebody on the podcast said they couldn't get up because of the weight. I didn't hear that in the investigation. I only heard about the he couldn't see through the fog and the thing was yelling terrain, terrain. He stayed on route and somehow he veered off route when the weather got bad. Uh, you know, the helicopter was supposed to be grounded in the LA area that day, that morning. We don't know why Kobe helicopter went up. People like Kobe was assassinated, Kobe, but you assassinate everybody on that plane, you know.
Mhm.
And it's hard, you know, her teammates was with her. She was with her dad, you know, the wife and husband, their daughter was together and a pilot. You know, these people we ain't gonna see no more. We only got pictures and highlights of Kobe and we see his daughter playing and Gigi and it was heartbreaking because she always with her dad. You know, and
Mhm.
she balled. She played like her dad when she do that fadeaway shot. I'm like, wow, it looked just like Kobe fadeaway shot. And she want to go to Connecticut to play for the Connecticut Husky, they honor her. The NBA did a 24-second violation. Each team did a 24 violation, and it was supposed to be a game the next day. Uh, I believe with the LA Clippers and the LA Lakers to play at the Staples Center, where the Grammys was that Sunday, and Alicia Keys. Everybody showed love. Even the music community showed Kobe love. Everybody from NASCAR to soccer to business to other fathers to parents to everybody. They not only showing love to Kobe, they show love to all the family that was infected. And there's a lot of people like, what about the other family? People wrote me on my comment. I don't know if you've seen it, but somebody like even include the other people I have. You know, I said their name. I did a whole post about the whole people, or at least their name. You know, I did not just talk about Kobe. You know, when you look at a Kobe is so big in the basketball world that he changed it. You know, it was Michael Jordan, then Kobe, then LeBron James.
Mhm.
Michael Jordan released a statement, and he can't believe it. You know, LeBron James passed broke Kobe all scoring record the day before that Saturday, the day before Kobe passed away in that accident. Um, so when you look at it, and you look at all the greatest athletes, and you look at all the stars, and people still talking about his death, CNN to HBO to BT, even in the video game in 2K, they showing love. Even Madden showing Kobe love, and that don't really mix. Like when a football player died, it really never changed over to basketball, or basketball it never changed over to football. But when you have somebody like Kobe Bryant that changed the game, he came at 17, and I think 2 or 3 years later he won his first championship. He won a total of 5 rings, and he scored 81 points. His last game, he scored 60 some points. I watched his last game. I don't remember I seen his first game, but I remember watching him play through all his career. I was not a biggest Kobe fan, but I'm a LeBron fan, I'm a Michael Jordan fan, a Kobe fan, but I'm not like real big on it. I don't have jerseys, but I watch it. I know the stats. And when he always plays against the Pacers, and he always plays Reggie Miller, and in Game 4, we lost against Kobe because we thought we had it because Shaq was fouled out. Shaq was fouled out, and Kobe just killed the Pacers. We watched Kobe kill the Pacers, Detroit, Boston. We see him kill. We see him kill stuff. Then Ella Iverson, who he played against, he said Ella Iverson AI was the toughest player that he played against. And Ella Iverson wore a shirt to a game where Kobe beat him in that championship. He had a picture of Kobe with a trophy that he got beat by Kobe that game, that series. And that was a big moment, for Allen Iverson to do that. Yeah. It you when you see grown men cry, we see these big athletes cry. 6'4", 7'4". When you see Shaq cry, and never seen Shaq cry at all, because how he cried with his life. And when I seen Shaq O'Neal cry, I see Reggie Miller cry, I seen Charles Barkley cry, and Charles Barkley did not have that personal relation with Kobe at all. And you tear up because you think about the family. End of the day, you think about his wife, his other daughter. Because when you a parent, you think about this stuff daily. You don't want this like a parent worst nightmare. It's the worst nightmare for me. I don't want to tell my son his mom is gone. That's like the worst nightmare to do. I don't want something to happen to my son. That's the worst nightmare to a father. A If you're a human being, you would be you would share a tear for anybody. Like we see on the news, people get killed. Some death don't hit us don't hit us like other deaths do. But when you hear a sad story, you do tear up. If you're a human being, you got a good heart, you gonna tear up. I unfollowed somebody on Facebook because they like, F Kobe death. Nobody didn't care when I was got robbed. First of all, we didn't know you got robbed. Second, you should show a little respect because it was other people on that helicopter too. You know what I mean? And there are white racist people like, oh, the trash is taken out, and people forget that Kobe didn't die by himself. Like show some respect. A woman just lost her husband, her daughter. Show some respect. The family members just lost their wife, their husband, their sister, their brother, their uncle. I don't know much about the pilot life, but pilot had a family too. Everybody on that helicopter had a family, and I think it's disrespectful when people make fun of his death. He haven't been died for a whole year. They already made fun of him in the same day. And like I just don't pay attention. Like social media can be so negative at times. When every time you open up, you see nothing but Kobe right now, nothing but Kobe, and he passed away Sunday. Most of the time, it's just 24 hours when a celebrity pass away. You know what I mean? So you know, we just gotta come together more than ever. It's too much stuff going on, too much violence, too much stuff. Life is very, very short. That's the only thing I gotta say. You got anything else you want to talk about? Hello?